Welcome back, everyone, to another Eat Speed podcast, the most delicious podcast in the Metroplex. I'm Bud Kennedy.
And Steve Wilson.
Father's Day is coming up. We always used to talk about steaks for Father's Day, but on Sundays, now a lot of barbecue restaurants are open. It didn't used to be that way. We have one of the Texas top 50 restaurant pitmasters here today. Welcome, Dayne Weaver of Dayne's Craft Barbecue. Boy, I'm glad to have you here.
How y'all doing? Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Dayne, you're out there. Is there a burger on the grill right now? Are you like in between burgers out there right now?
Yeah, I had to take a break and put one of my guys on the flat top and come in and get cleaned up for y'all to get video ready. But yeah, we got burgers cooking right now, so they might be getting sold out about now, but.
A lot of people still haven't tried Dayne's, but those who have go over and over again. But what's interesting about Dayne's is that you have hamburgers on Thursday and Friday. You have barbecue all 4 days you're open at lunch, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you have some really good desserts. So I'm going to confess to you, once I stopped in at Dayne's and just had dessert. I think it was the bourbon banana pudding or something. I think
banana bourbon delight.
I had to skip the brisket and go straight to the banana bourbon delight. So, but it's all worth the trip. Dayne's is in what we used to call Westland community at 9840 Camp Bowie West. If you went to JD's Hamburgers, which is reopened, then Dayne's is across the street. And Dayne, why don't you kind of explain to them, because it's kind of a hybrid truck and dining room, but why don't you kind of describe what people could expect?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Somebody called me just for a second. I think it disrupted something there, but we're working on. Out in Westland, we've got our food truck set up there, and basically you can come up, order outside, but we do have a dining room that you can sit inside that's air conditioned for everybody. But we're working on getting some better accommodations. We've kind of maxed out what we can do out of a food trailer. So we've kind of tested how much you can do, and I think we've hit that limit. And so now we're looking for building out a bigger space. So.
Well, you're one of these Texas barbecue superstars who started with a truck and just keeps getting bigger and bigger and more famous. What's it like being on that skyrocket to the top?
I mean, it's been awesome. I mean, it's kind of felt like it's dragging me along at times. We definitely started small, and we've just kind of grassroots built it up over time. We never had a ton of money. I mean, really, our situation was one of a lot of struggle. I mean, we didn't start a business because we had extra money. We started a business because we wanted to get out of, our situation of not having as much money as we want, and we wanted to grow something for us and our family. And so that's been it's been an awesome journey, just kind of slowly building everything up and gaining confidence in the next steps. And yeah, it's been 5 years in the making from when we first started selling barbecue here in Fort Worth. And so we're looking to take that next step here soon and kind of expand what we're doing a little bit. So.
I think one of the other pitmasters said he started getting scared when he had to start hiring people, and when he couldn't do it all himself. But how many people do you have working for you now?
We've got about 7 people now. So I relate with that a whole lot, because that's how it was for a long time, where it was me and my wife, Ashley, and we could do the majority of everything. And then our pitmaster, Thomas, has been with us for just about the whole time. And then we had one other employee, and then that's all we needed for a while. For about a year, we did it with just 4 of us. So me and Ashley and 2 other people, and then just volunteers that would help out. The more people you get, the more difficult it is to kind of manage the situation. And sometimes managing people is a little difficult,
And it looked like Ashley was out there just like you all the time. It looked like she was out there every day you were, and we pitching in.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's really the driving force behind the entire thing. I mean, I talked about wanting a barbecue place for like 2 years, and I think she just got sick of it, and she said, well, I don't want you to talk about it anymore. I'm buying you this smoker. She bought me this big old smoker without me knowing, actually. I said, you know, this is a smoker we need if we're going to do what we're going to do. And she actually took out a loan and put a down payment on the $6,000 smoker. One that I would never buy for myself personally, right? Because I wouldn't put my family in a bind just to buy a $6,000 smoker. But she kind of put us on the spot and said, you know, hey, it's on the way, and let's start doing this. And not only did she say, I'll support you, but she said, I'll be right there next to you and I'll do it with you. And I think that's the key to our success, is that we've really worked as a team and as a unit. And it's huge that I had that support and had someone that believed in me like that, you know.
Steve, you know your barbecue. What do you find interesting about Dayne's?
Well, I mean, he has some really good sides.
Yeah. That's something that we focused on a whole lot. So 5 years ago when we started, that was one of the main pillars of what we wanted to do. We wanted to take the extra mile on the sides, right? So you'll see on our sides, we've got a lot of garnishing. So we don't just put some corn in a cup. Like we dress it up, you know, we make it really good. It's a big pain to kind of dress all these sides up and make them fancy, but we take that extra step, and I think our customers really appreciate it, you know. So it kind of elevated that barbecue experience for people.
That's one of the things people notice. You know, the original craft barbecue craze came with elevated, you know, homemade sides and, you know, better quality sides. And I think some of the new people have kind of let that linger, or kind of let that drift off, and they just put a good brisket out there and put out ordinary coleslaw and potato salad. But you managed to keep up all the sides, and the bourbon banana. I want to go back to that dessert. No, everything about the meal, and not just the brisket's really good. Now we talk about the Texas Trinity of brisket, ribs, and sausage. But what are you proudest of that comes out of your pit?
Well, our brisket. I mean, our brisket's what we spend a lot of time cooking, our most time cooking, really. But our sausage is actually something that I consider what makes us more of a craft barbecue place, is that we make our own sausage every single week. We make 3 different kinds every single week. So you can always get 2 of our standards, and then we have a specialty that rotates. And so this week it's our cheesy bratwurst. Last week it was our berry Gouda. And then last week it was the week before that, it was a margarita pizza sausage. So it's a way that we can kind of introduce new dishes and new fun stuff into our menu, and just get creative with that. So I think that, and it's a really long process. I don't think people realize, but it takes 4 days basically. You have to cure and season your meat, then you got to cold smoke it the next day, and then you have to chill it and then re-smoke it the next day. And so it's kind of about a 3 or 4 day process to get that sausage just right. So I'm really proud that we've been able to keep that up and make sure that comes out consistent and good every time. So it'd be a lot easier just to buy frozen sausage and throw it on the pit instead of spend 4 days on it, you know?
Where did you eat barbecue growing up, or what was your favorite restaurant before you went into the business?
So my family is from Fort Worth. So my dad did make ribs and stuff growing up, but I was a military brat, so I lived overseas a lot of my childhood. So we didn't really have access to a lot of barbecue where I was at. Lived in England, Japan, Italy, California, Colorado. So yeah, not a lot of those places are known for that. So my dad would make it at home. So mainly what I ate was what my dad would make. But I do remember when I was 15 years old, I came and visited Fort Worth, and I went to Shady Oaks over there on Western Center and 35.
Sure.
And I hadn't been in America in years, and I remember I just walked down there, and I walked in and I got a whole rack of ribs. I was like 15. I was like, I want a whole rack of ribs. And I just like ate, I ate myself sick basically. So
Shady Oak, which was upscale Spring Creek concept, cousin to
yeah.
Spring Creek. Yeah.
Yeah. And I still enjoy that place every once in a while. It's got a really nice vibe and just really nice. You can tell why they've been successful over there. So.
That brings up something I was going to mention about Father's Day. We have a lot of barbecue places on Sundays, but Shady Oak, I remember, had table service, and still a lot of barbecue places are stand in line, wait in line. If you want to take dad out and put all the family around a table and get waited on, the only places I could find that have table service are John Bonnell's hamburger place over on Berry. He's got briskets and sausage there now. So John's Grill near TCU, or the Woodshed. Obviously, Tim loves, kind of world barbecue place, or the old Risky's chain. They all have table service, and I think those are the only three if you want to plant dad at a table and have everybody bring him food. But your place, you'll have plenty of brisket, and the lines on Sunday will be shaded, and you have a fan out there, and come wait in line. My advice, if you're coming to Dayne's, is to go early. You open at 11, and what's the line usually like?
Well, we actually started opening at 10:30 because the line would get so built up. So we do open at 10:30 now. But we don't really advertise it too much. We just let all the early birds come and kind of get cleaned out. Because if we open at 11, it just builds up too much and everybody has to wait too long. So 10:30, I'd say. Yeah, if you get there early, you're getting what you want and getting out of there before the crowds get there. But usually about 11:30 to 12 is when it gets pretty busy. So.
And you've got something else, if Dad can't do this on Sunday, but you've got a good barbecue school coming up that might be a good gift for Dad. So talk about that.
Yeah, so this year we started doing Brisket 101 class. We're partnering with Panther Island Brewing and hosting it there. So what comes with the class is I bring my 500-gallon smoker up there, and we talk about fire management. We go through trimming and seasoning briskets. We talk about when you need to wrap a brisket, what kind of meat you should buy, just kind of everything that you can open to any kind of questions that people have. And then we finish it off with a big barbecue feast where you get 4 different meats and 3 sides. And then you get 3 beers from the brewery there while you do it. It's about a 3-hour class, and then it's an hour of kind of eating, drinking, and being merry at the end.
All this barbecue and beer. And how much is it, and what day is it?
So the class is $175, and it's good. July 23rd. So $175. It's July 23rd. We wanted to give some time for people to kind of
settle down,
get the class filled up and everything like that. So that's a fun one for us. It's been really cool transitioning from teaching my staff to like kind of publicly teaching and everything like that, and I'm really learning that I really like going through all that, because at heart I was just a big barbecue nerd, just like how a lot of the people that come to my class, they just they kind of want to nerd out over every little detail that you can about a brisket, and that's what we've done. And so I think a lot of people appreciate my insight and things that I've figured out about it. So
when should I wrap it?
when it gets about 180 degrees, I'll just say that, and that fat starts to get rendered and squishy. That's when you know. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. But there's some misinformation out on the internet. Some people did say to do it earlier, but there's a lot of different ways you can teach it, but in this class, I just teach you how I do it. So, you could have a class and say, here's all the different ways you can cook a brisket, but that doesn't really help anybody. So I say, this is what I think you should do. So, I try to make sure I'm clear with that. So,
Steve, they're tired of looking at us. Show us those food pictures again. Put another brisket or sausage out.
Yeah. So one of the things, we do family style dining. So if someone were coming on Sunday bringing their dad, they would probably get a platter like this, where this platter actually is our you can't have your pudding if you don't eat your meat platter. So it's a little bit of a Pink Floyd reference there. So that's what we call it, and it comes with large sides of everything, and then a pound of all the meats, but it comes with a pound and a half of brisket. So a lot of times, people will they'll just put one person in line, and everybody sits down, and then Then they just drop that on the table and everybody digs in. So that's kind of how we like to do it.
I bet everybody's mighty happy about that.
Yeah, it does cause fights sometimes though, because if you get a platter and there's only 4 ribs and there's 6 people, then you got to kind of rock paper scissors it, you know.
That's going to be their problem. Now we need to be clear about this. This burger is really famous, really popular. Some people call it the best in town, but you can only get it Thursday and Friday at lunch. What's on this burger?
So it's 2 house ground brisket patties so when we trim our briskets, we do get some really good meat that comes off of it, but it makes a better burger than it would the brisket. So we grind it up, we patty it up, and we sear it on the flat top. It gets white American, yellow American cheese, red onion, and then a house-made burger sauce that we call the Lovin sauce, because our pitmaster developed it. It's Thomas Lovin. So it's just a really good, balanced, tangy burger sauce that goes great with all that fatty meat. And then we just butter and toast that bun and try to cook it perfectly. I think the key to why it's so popular is just our execution of putting our best into every single burger. I mean, trying to cook it perfect every time is our theory. And I think there's some places that just kind of develop it and put it out, and then the next thing you know, the quality goes downhill. But I actually personally made the first 6,000 burgers that we sold. So,
but just the bun sells it. The perfect toast on that bun makes it look just like a beautiful burger. That's called the OG burger, right?
Yeah, that's our OG burger.
And when does that stop today?
Yeah, they're probably sold out today already.
Okay. I was ready.
But we'll have them again tomorrow.
So head over there right for this.
Yeah. And now, are you going to add more days for burgers, or more days of service, or at some future point you'll settle in and are you going to have more?
So this burger has caused such a craze that it's kind of opened my mind to maybe some other opportunities with that. And so my plan is, once we get our barbecue restaurant in a brick and mortar and get that established, then that trailer that we have, we're going to redo it and make it into a burger making machine, and then put it somewhere in Fort Worth, and then that'll be just only burgers. So that's my plan. So
I can see a little compound and call it like Dayne World or something. You could have brisket restaurant over here, and then you could have a burger restaurant over here. Then you have another building for your school. You need to have you need to have all the Dayne facilities together. That'd be convenient. So that's the dream. We're
working on it. Yeah, hopefully we'll get there soon. But yeah, you can expect to see the trailer that we're serving barbecue in, selling burgers one day, maybe in about a year, have it set up somewhere and just be only pumping out burgers. So
wow. What just the rise, the fame of barbecue places. What's the furthest anybody has come for your barbecue?
Oh, I mean, England. We get people from England a lot. Australia. Those are the main places. Australia, England, and Canada. I think the Texas barbecue thing is catching on real hard there, because, they're the most kind of Americanized, kind of cultures that we associate with, I guess. And so they really travel far and wide. We had somebody from Indiana today, so he saw us on Meat Church. So
people from England, Australia, and Canada are coming to Westland.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just not something I would have dreamed in my lifetime. Steve, there's a little bit of other restaurant news. There's another barbecue place opening. The original Hutchins is open. He's calling it the original Roy Hutchins out in Trophy Club, to separate it from the other Hutchins barbecue folks. This is another one of those family barbecue splits where, like, you had the Kreitzes that went off and had Schmitz, and then Lockhart, and then the Black's barbecue folks split. So, apparently when one person in the family gets successful, then everybody else in the family starts their own barbecue. So, but the original Hutchins is open out in Trophy Club. And then we have a couple of non-barbecue stories. We had the really fancy French restaurant. Well, not fancy, but kind of frilly. Le Margot is about to open probably in a couple of weeks at Hewlin and Bel Air. It's another restaurant from Graham Elliott and Philippe Armenta of Press Cafe, Pacific Table, The Tavern. And this is a very frilly French restaurant with a lot of high-end French bistro cooking. I've gotten a peek inside and a peek at the menu, and it's really going to be something. If you have been looking for a new French restaurant or something that kind of takes what the French restaurants do and adds more of more vitality, more excitement to it, then you'll really like that. It's Graham Elliott's first big venture here.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and let's see, of course, Russell, Russell Kirkpatrick has left Riata, Steve, and he is going to, he's taken over Mercado Juarez. And so Marcus Passley bought the Mercado Juarez restaurants because they're big and they're on good pieces of land, and it looked like a good place to have a restaurant. So he's going to keep Mercado Juarez like it is and brought Russell over to run it. That's in the food news. And then just a little news, but it'll be probably the biggest deal of all over the next couple of weeks. Bojangles Fried Chicken in Euless will be open within about 2 weeks. It's out there off the airport freeway, and everybody who's from the South will be coming to Euless to find Bojangles Fried Chicken. So all that's in the Eats Beat columns that you can read Wednesdays and Fridays in print, or usually earlier in the week online at startelegram.com/eatsbeat. Steve, you know anything else going on?
No, I think you covered everything there. You're always on top of all that stuff, bud.
Oh, we try to have a little food news. What, Dayne, did I miss anything? Have you heard any inside gossip or anything else we need to know about?
Oh yeah, there's always gossip. I don't know if it's anything that needs to be said, but but yeah, no, I mean I know JD's is I think they're getting close to reopening the inside over there across the street from us.
Right, JD's is open.
I know they had that incident where the roof flew off, and so I think they're getting back to normal operating procedures here soon. So we're excited for them, but it doesn't seem to slow them down over there. They've got that big patio and they're filling it up still. So
Gigi's done a great job. She did have a little bump when the storm back in March blew the roof off her restaurant, and word got around that JD's had gone topless, and I think that kind of got her really confused. But she's open again and back in business, and of course she puts out all the social media and videos and lets everybody know what's going on. The two of you have done a remarkable job of drawing people to Westland. Dayne, let's tell the people again, you're at 9840 Camp Bowie West. You're on the north side of the street, and so you're open 10:30 to run out, or 10:30 to 1 or 2 on Thursday.
2:30, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 10:30, 2:30 through Thursday through Sunday. So.
Okay. Apologize for the phone call, but it's probably time to go, Steve. Let's go ahead and wrap it up, and we'll say, until next time, I'm Bud Kennedy
and Steve Wilson.
Thanks for having me, guys.